Hi, and welcome to my knitting channel, Noll-Knitty here on YouTube. My name is Linn and I live in the north of Sweden. This is my second video for this YouTube channel, and I'm so happy that my first video was well received and that people actually watched it. It feels really good, and some people even subscribed. Feels really cool. So yeah, this is now my second video. It's been a month since the first one, and I thought I'll just update you on some things and ramble along. I have knitting thoughts, and what better way to discuss them to put them on the internet? No, but seriously, like I can talk about knitting for a really long time, and I don't think I only want this channel to have just my finished objects or things that I'm currently working on. So at least I know this episode will be sort of a mix of things. So I hope you are seated comfortably, because I am. I will be talking for a while. And maybe you have a cup of tea or something to drink and you're knitting in your lap. And I hope you enjoy this episode. Today is a sort of gloomy Wednesday afternoon. It's been raining, but now it's getting lighter outside. It's the 21st of May, and spring is coming. You can't really decide if it's gonna be cold or warm yet. So we haven't gotten over the, cold hump yet. I still need mittens when I bike to work, and therefore I'm also wearing a knitted sweater almost every day. It is almost my go-to to wear knitted sweaters, because I was thinking, when you're gonna record one of these episodes, you'd want to wear something, or at least in my head I'm like, oh, I'm a knitter, I want to wear something that I have knitted. What should I choose? Today I didn't choose. I put this on in the morning getting ready for work, and during my day I decided, okay, tonight I'm gonna record a knitting video. And then of course the question was, should I still be wearing this one, or should I change into something else, something that's more fantastic that I could talk about? And I decided, no, I'm just gonna talk about the sweater I'm wearing, and also how often do I actually wear my knits. Because for me, okay, let's start just with the sweater before I get into the wearing knits part. This is The Weekender by Andrea Mowry, and this is a older pattern that's been out for a while, and I think I finished this one in 2023. So it has like 2 years on it, and I really enjoyed knitting the pattern. It is a quite boxy sweater. I actually made it, I think I chose a size or 2 smaller than recommended because I didn't want it to be too oversized. This is a very oversized pattern, so it's supposed to be big and flowy, but I wanted a little tighter version. And now that I've been wearing it today, I get more ideas, and I'm thinking, maybe I should make one in actual my size to get one of those bigger flowy shirts. But it is a boxy knit, and I can't remember if it was knit. No, it was knit bottom up, because that's the way this middle line is going. And so it was knit bottom up. It's a square, and then it has sleeves. It's hard to describe a pattern that was so long ago since I knit, because nothing is fresh, but it has these really cool shoulders. It's a boat neck, so it's pretty wide, and it also has a split hem, if you can see that. Boop. It is I called it reversed stockinette. So the stockinette is on the inside and you get the purl outside. And then you have the contrast stitch in the middle that I find is really cool. And this is knit in Rauma Finull, and I held 2 together to get a thicker, to get it thicker basically. There is a Weekender Light pattern, and I think there's also a Weekender Crewneck pattern as well. But this was the first one that came out. And I have, as you can see, a different yarn at the ends here because I ran out of the pink yarn and I didn't want to buy more, but rather just use whatever I had in stash. So the pink is Rauma Finull in this lovely bubblegum pink. And then the ends here is a sock yarn from Adlibris. I think their sock base is called just Socky. And it also is it was almost a perfect match with the bottom, like the base color of the pink in these two. But I think I had to hold the sock yarn double 2, but it is quite a difference in the finished fabric here, where this one is a bit thicker and denser, whereas this one is more flowy. But yeah, I really enjoy this shirt. I come back to it pretty often and wear it quite often, both because I like the color, but I also like just the simplicity of it. It is solid color, but it has a detail. I can wear a shirt underneath without it getting like too tight around my neck. And so this was just one of those shirts that I threw on in the morning, getting ready to work. And it got me thinking about how often do I wear my knits. And now it's almost every day. Basically, if I have a day where I'm not wearing anything that I've knitted, it feels a bit weird. It's also because we have such long winters, so I have a reason to wear knitted sweaters almost every day too, because it is cold. And now that we're getting into spring and summer, I do wear lighter clothes, but we're not quite there yet. So I'm still wearing the sweaters, even though I've changed maybe from the heaviest like Icelandic loopy sweaters to more lightweight sweaters in Rauma Finull and the like. But it's become almost every day. And this wasn't really a goal I had. You know, it's always been like a dream goal when you start knitting that, oh, wouldn't it be cool that I could just wear my own knitted garments every day? But it's almost one of those things that I didn't want to set as a goal because it felt too big, almost unreachable, because of how long it takes to make a garment. And you really get respect for the craft it takes to make clothes, both sewing and knitting. The more you do, the more respect you get, basically. It takes time and effort to make clothes. And therefore, in my mind, it would take a really long time before I could have my own home knitted wardrobe. But it has gone. Maybe it's just time goes fast, or the knitting, I became faster at knitting, because I feel I reached this goal faster than I thought I would. I have so many sweaters, and mostly because I knit a lot for myself. The knitting is a hobby for me, for myself. I put a lot of time and effort into it, so I mostly knit things for me. And therefore I think I have at least 30 sweaters and cardigans in total. So yeah, it added up quite quickly. I'm very happy though that I do now have this range of sweaters that are hand knitted, that are, in most cases, there are also just in pure wool of different kinds. I haven't used that many superwash yarns, and I'm not an acrylic yarn type of person. So I am very happy with my closet now, in the back here, that's full of knitted sweaters. But it took a long time to get here. And so, what do I want to say? Just keep knitting. If your goal is to eventually have your whole closet full of knitted sweaters of different kinds, don't stress about it, because you'll get there. And it should be fun to knit. So just keep doing what's fun. Choose the patterns that seem fun. One thing that during the years, sometimes you can see there's different fashions, sometimes different patterns are trending, and I might, oh, I want this now. Or I saw this really cool shirt or sweater at the store. I almost bought it, but I didn't because I could knit that myself, because I can see that it's not a hard pattern. If I had a pattern that was similar, it wouldn't be a hard or difficult pattern to knit. Sometimes, though, my desire to have the sweater now conquers and I buy the sweater. But a lot of the time I want to make the sweater myself. And I don't always. Like, there's... if I made all the sweaters that I wanted to buy or that I've seen, I wouldn't do anything else but knit. So it also makes you more conscious of what sweaters do I really want? What clothes do I want to buy right now just because they're in trend, or is it something that I actually want to wear in the long run? Yeah. That's a rant about sweaters. I don't know if it's a rant or just a long talk, but I'm really happy that I'm now lucky enough to have a sweater that I can wear every day, almost depending. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Even July and August can be pretty cold here if it's a rainy day. But I would encourage you to wear your knits too. Like, even if you finished it and you're maybe not 100% happy with it, or you think it's too precious to wear, I would recommend you to wear it. Because really, I've heard, and I got told too when I started knitting, that, you know, real wool sweaters, they last so much longer. They're really good quality, and you're gonna treasure the sweaters that you make because they are gonna last really long. And that's true. And it's almost like the more you wear them, the softer they get. And I'm in love with my knitted sweaters. And it's not at all the same when you buy a sweater. After a year or two, it has lost its shape. It has lost its softness. It is full of little pillings that you can't really remove. Since I started knitting, I've gotten more and more disappointed in sweaters I can buy from stores. More and more. I do get that they are really soft because they're all acrylics. But they just fall apart for me. I'm not interested in them anymore now that I can make my own. And so, knit them, wear them, and love them. Please. And choose things that you like, that you would want to wear, and not just because they're in trend. Yeah. So this is one of those I made. I don't know when it was released. But I think I knitted it a year or two after it was released. And I'm still very happy with it. So it was a good choice. I guess, do I have knits that I feel maybe weren't good choices that I made? Not really. There might be sweaters that I don't wear as often now, and styles changes and taste changes, so there's not that I am sad that I made those. It's just that I don't wear them as often, basically. But basically the older some of the sweaters get, the more comfortable I'm in them. Like if it's cold but I'm still gonna paint something outside, I can throw one of them on, because I know it will keep me warm and I won't be sad if I get paint on it, that sort of thing. So yeah, I encourage you to wear your knits, also because knitted, I mostly knit sweaters, and they can be very versatile, both with skirts, with dresses, and with pants, jeans, with a shirt underneath, or just a little dress underneath. I think there's a lot of variations in knitted sweaters. Okay, I'm gonna stop there because, yeah, that's enough of that. Wear your knits. Before I get into, I'm gonna show you how far I got on my Salty Day sweater that I showed you last time. I want to first talk about some stitch markers that I bought. These are one little set, and I bought these from Stickan. She makes them herself in like resin or something. And so I bought them, and then I sent her some extra tip, and so she sent me another batch too. Aren't they cute? So these ones and these ones are really gonna come in handy. And I also bought some stitch markers on a local market. These are from Thread Lightly. She makes these really cute ones. Oh, I only have one left in this little box. I guess these ones are bought ones that she sells. Oh, this little cute one. Oh, maybe it wants to see my face instead. Where's the other two? Oh yeah, I have more on this Sophie shawl that I'm knitting. Let me show you the stitch marker that I bought from her too. This little cute cat in a cup. And this is also her yarn, a boucle colored rainbow speckles. I loved it. And I've never knit in boucle before, but I couldn't resist the colors of this yarn, so I had to buy it. And since it is it superwash yarn, I think? It's so soft. Oh my god, it's so soft and fluffy. So I decided I'll make a shawl out of it. And this is the first like Sophie pattern that I've bought. There's both the scarf and the shawl, and since this is a floofy big yarn and I only have one skein, I decided to go for the shawl one. Such an easy pattern. It really flows by. I think it's gonna be great. I also bought a second skein of boucle, not from Thread Lightly, but from Solhärvan. Look at the colors. I couldn't resist either. So both of these dyers are local to my area, and this is also a boucle yarn. This is also going to be the same type of shawl, so that I have two for the winter. I also like, because most of the winter jackets and stuff are black, so these will be a good pop of color with the black jackets. Ding. They're both so soft and so pretty. Yeah, so shout out to my local dyers. Yes, stitch markers have been bought. I did not used to be a person that was excited about stitch markers before. I used to consecutively only like use yarn, pieces of yarn that I tie around the needle, because in the beginning, when I started knitting, I found that the stitch markers, they were kind of in the way. When they are in metal, there's a little ring you have to like move over to the other needle, and I lost my knitting flow when I tried to use these ones. And so I would get like a gap where there was a stitch marker, and I realized, no, this is not how I want to knit. I just want everything to flow so that my tension will be all right. And so I decided, no, I'm just gonna go with like pieces of yarn, and that works wonderfully because you can also choose different types of colors depending on if it's the break of round break, or if it's just a marker for a sleeve or something like that. And well, the last year or so, I've fallen in love with these little actual stitch markers. Yeah, they're so cute. Because now I don't have the tension problem anymore. But so if you feel like you always get like a loose stitch right where the stitch markers are, I would recommend to use just yarn stumps of a contrasting colors instead of these like stitch markers, because I found that it really worked well for me to get my tension even all the time. And I don't feel, sometimes I still use little yarn snippets because I don't feel like it interrupts as much. But yeah, that's just my 2 little cents on stitch markers. Okay, so on to something that is almost finished, and that is my Salty Days sweater. This is Salty Days by Veronika Lindberg, or Kuto Vaikika. I am not very good with Finnish, but Veronika Lindberg I can pronounce. This is the Salty Days sweater. It is, oh, it's so beautiful. I didn't realize, okay, I knew I wanted to knit it because it's beautiful and it has these sections of lace and cables or fall cables and ribbing that looks really cool. So I knew I wanted to knit it, but what I didn't realize was how cool the shoulders look like. I didn't realize until I actually tried it on that this is a great design. This is how it looks in the back, and this triangle here, it looks really good when you wear the sweater. Like, this detail is awesome. And so, ooh, I'm so excited to finish this one now that I know that A, it fits. It's not too small. It's a bit snug around the sleeves. So I'm hoping it will block out, or at least I can stretch it out when I block it when it's finished. And I had seen on both YouTube and maybe on Ravelry too that some people said that this one grew a lot when they blocked it, so that it grew in size and it could become really long, and the sleeves could become really long too. So I've purposefully not made it too long. It's almost like exactly like a tiny bit shorter than I would like it to be, both in the sleeves and in the body. And so we'll see how it will do when it's blocked out. I have knit this in the Cascade 220 Cascade 220 Peruvian. No, I shouldn't speak on what type of wool it is. It's soft, at least I know that. Yeah, that was not very well prepared by me for being a knitting podcast, but the brand is Cascade and it's 220. This is a sort of a beige yellow color. It's not white, it's not beige, it's not yellow, it's somewhere in between. And I think it will go really well with jeans for the summer. And I say for the summer because a sweater with lace like this, I can wear it in the winter too. But during the winter I would have to maybe still wear something long sleeved underneath. Whereas in the summer I could just wear a little tank top underneath and this will be fine. It is knit on needles 4.5 I think. And then you change down to 3 millimeters for the neckline and the cuffs. And so the neckline is supposed to be folded in and either knit or sewn down. I think I will be doing the knitted. So you knit it down basically to keep it folded. And in the pattern it's said to have twisted rib along the edge or the neckline, but I didn't. I did normal rib so that the ribbing from the pattern down here could match up with the ribbing in the neckband. And I also made sure that they would match when I picked up for the neckband too. But the sleeves is a twisted rib as well as the hem at the bottom. And I've kept the sleeves on these cables because I'm gonna do Italian bind off. And it is recommended to do a Italian bind off on this pattern. It just takes time. It is the most good looking bind off I find, but it takes such a long time to do, so I've put them on hold currently so that I could continue with the neckband. But I was a bit impatient with the hem and I bound it off in just my normal way, and I tried to bind off loosely, but it wasn't loose enough. It's still stiff when I pull it on and I don't like the feel of it. It's still like, it looks good, but I don't like the feel of it. So I am gonna rip it out and I'm gonna do an Italian bind off. Italian bind off at the hem as well, because it looks good, and usually I get the tension pretty good as well, so it doesn't feel stiff. Because most of my knitting years I've only been doing this one bind off. I don't know what it's called. It works, it looks good, but sometimes if you make it too tight, it's like a string in it, like, you know what I mean? I can't pull it larger than I would like it to be. But so I learned Italian bind off a few years ago. Was the first time I did it, and I still have to look at the tutorials every time, but it's getting better and better. I'm starting to actually see how you're supposed to do it now, opposed to just following the tutorial strictly. But it's gonna take a while, so I'm happy. I'm happy that the neckline is folded in and not also has Italian bind off. But that's all I have left. I have basically maybe a centimeter or so left on the neckline, and then all the bind offs, and then some blocking. But this is gonna be a really nice summer sweater, and I'm already tempted to make another one, a purple one, because I do have yarn in the same yarn weight, and I have just as much, and I'm thinking maybe it would be cool to have a purple one as well. We'll see. But the funny thing is that basically the body and the sleeves, it all goes pretty fast, but it's the details, like the ribbing where you have to go down to smaller needle, and the bind-offs that you have to do by hand with a needle. It takes time to, otherwise this one would have been finished. It probably would have been finished by now, because I would have just bound off the sleeves and I would just done this, because it's not as motivating when you know you have to sit down and sew this and it will take at least 2 hours. But yeah, it's gonna be so good. I'm looking forward to it. And so when this one is finished, I don't have any other big sweaters on my needles. I have the summer top, Hven, that I talked about last time. There's not a lot of progress on that one, so I'm not showing it today. But I don't have any other big sweaters on my needles, and I usually always have a big sweater, because it's the thing I enjoy the most. And so now I'm of course thinking, because this one is almost done, what should be my next project? And as many of you knitters do, just as I do, I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of ideas, and I've been tempted. What I'm thinking right now is I will make like a mashup of things, because I've been inspired both. It's been a long, has it been a long time? It feels like it's been a long time since I did some proper color work sweater. I'm trying to remember what I've been knitting lately, but my mind is blank. Okay, let's just say it feels like it was a long time ago since I did a proper color work sweater that has more than 2 colors. And Mrs. Wallgren has a Alice Starmore knit along that I'm very tempted to join. I do have this one, Alice Starmore's charts for color knitting, and as you can see, I've had this one for a couple of years, and I marked some favorites that I want to make. And really, one of these knit alongs should be an opportunity to actually get going. I love colorwork knitting, but one of the things that can be daunting is to start. Like, what project should I use? What colors should I use? What yarn should I use? Should I make my own pattern, or should I follow a bought pattern? There's so many things to choose, and that you have to make a decision on. If you buy one of these, it's one color, you buy the pattern, boom. Whereas with colorwork sweaters, once you get into it, and I love that I'm into it, there's a whole world that opens up. And this one even has charts of how to design your own sweaters, how to choose the patterns in the book. Do you want to make an all-over sweater, or do you want to make a single motif sweater? As well as I'm inspired with the Hönsenstick, because I love when you decide yourself. These ones are more graphic. These are more pattern based. So I'm somewhere like in here trying to decide, should I make another colorwork sweater? I've done one before from like the base cardigan pattern in this one, and I combined pattern charts from this one with larger charts from this one. And I do love the charts in this one. The thing is, I'm not very good with small needles, so these charts are pretty large. And so these patterns will take up a lot of space. And that's fine. That's fine. It's just you have to concentrate more when you have one of these really large charts to follow. But just look at them. It's so pretty. There's so many pretty things. Okay, I might just do one of these Alice Starmore things and jump on the knit along, because maybe this is when I should start one. At least get going, start planning, make some test swatches to see how the colors. And that's also the thing. I'm a bit reluctant to buy more yarn. I have a lot of yarn, so I'd like to use what I have. I'm not sure it's gonna work out though, but I would like to give it a try to make some charts. Maybe think about how I could color grade them with the yarn I have so that I don't have to buy more. My plan is I would like to knit a sweater that has at least 3 or 4 colors, just because it's fun. And what I've realized too, one of my most worn sweaters or garments is my Yell cardigan, which is it's not Alice Starmore, but it's Mary Wallin, and it has Fair Isle color work all over the cardigan, and it is light, it's flowy, so I do like that type of knit. It's just that it takes a long time when I also daddle in other projects, but when I get going, it is so much fun. So I haven't decided on anything yet. Now that I'm sitting here with the book, I feel very inspired to maybe get going. But you know, the possibilities are there's so many possibilities. How can I even choose? And should I stick with the yarn I have, or should I buy some other yarn that I specifically want for a specific sweater? That's what's in my head right now. Or if I wanted to make something easy for myself, I've been thinking, this is a Sandnes Garn Tema 75. This is the book 75. I have also been eyeing, ever since I bought this booklet, I have been eyeing this sweater. I think it's lovely with the pattern up top and then just the little dots in the body, and they also have it in pictures of it in a light version. So this is like my backup if I don't have if I lose patience in planning my own sweater, this might be the one I go to. This one only uses 3 colors, but I might have to buy yarn for it because this is knit in tunn. Yeah, the thinner version of pergynt, tunn pergynt. And I don't have any of that, and the yarns I do have at home is usually just a little bit thicker than these ones, and because I really like the sweaters that are light and flowy, I should get into actually purchasing those yarns a bit more. Yes, so either what's the name of this one? I think it was Hege. Let's see. Hege Dame Genser. Yes. So either that one, that it feels like it's more likely to happen than making my own one from the Alice Starmore charts. But at the same time, I can use the same principle because this one, the Hege Genser, is also a very easy classic design where you knit a tube that you cut up the armholes for and you make the neckline. And that's basically how I would knit a Alice Starmore sweater too. I need a tube and I'll cut it up. So yes, I haven't decided yet, and but it is so much fun. Trying, planning, thinking about colors. And that's all for today that I wanted to talk about. I'll see you in the next video.